Alright, we're back for another day of working on Pro Gymnast. Yesterday, I made this new object in the game and almost finished it up. So this is the wheel, you can see here, which you can grab onto, you can spin around, and is a little bit of a bigger target than the average bar in the game. Of course, I can still miss it. Alright, so on the list for today is we're going to make a larger version of that same prop real quick. Get that in, and then we need to add signal support to these new props I've added. And I think if we have time, we'll move on to some new camera angles for the game. That just reminded me too, speaking of camera angles, the results replay should skip free cam. Okay. Alright. So we're going to make a... let's see, let's stay in Unity for a second here. We're going to make a new prefab. The grab bar, here it is. We're going to make a duplicate of this. That's going to be grab bar medium. Call it medium in case I decide to make an even bigger one. I got a word reserved. Okay, so this is going to be pretty simple. This is almost the same prop, just with a larger wheel. So that's mostly due to the radius of this collider. Oh, actually, I was also going to change this. I'm currently using a sphere collider, which probably is not the best choice because since my physics are all in 2D, you know, a sphere has just like one point right in the center where the normal is clean from a 2D point of view, and then it starts wanting to push things left to right. So I think I'm actually going to swap this out for a capsule collider that I can align with the Z-axis and then extend a little bit like this. So now pretty much anywhere we collide with this thing, we're going to get like a clean normal, kind of like it's a cylinder, and we don't have to worry about these caps on the sides because the game plays in 2D. Okay, cool. So that's fixed for the small. Now let's go to our new medium. Do the same thing. We're going to get rid of this sphere collider. We're going to add a capsule collider and set it on the Z-axis and extrude it a little bit. Okay, now how big should this new one be? Double? Probably, right? Looks good. So this needs to be a little bigger now. Yeah, 2.5 or whatever. Okay. Alright, now this thing is bigger, so we should probably give its rigid body a little more mass. I mean, 2x the size, 2x the mass is not how it should work, right? Because mass would go up in like cubic relationship to size. So let's try, I don't know, 20. Okay. Now what else do we need to do? We obviously have to update all these meshes. We will do that. And then the actual grab wheel script has a grab radius on it here. This needs to be similar now to the actual radius. There we go. Okay. Cool. Alright, now do I have all these settings right? Yeah. Alright. Now if I go here and build the asset bundles, and that takes a second, so while we're waiting we're going to open up this and start making our larger one. Let's see. This is 2 different pieces, right? Okay. Gotta try and remember if there's a way in Blender for me to expand this ring without also thickening it. I think if I use like shrink fatten, that's the opposite of what I want to do. Whoops. Not smooth. Shrink slash fatten, that's going to do the opposite of what I want. Is there like a... what's push pull do? Hey, that's exactly what I want. Look at that. Okay. Now, is this in percentage or what is this? Negative. This looks like I want to move out by negative 0.5. Or maybe not. That seems really big. Is that the right size? We'll find out. This is going to be called grab wheel medium. Okay. And then this is eventually going to be grab wheel frame medium. Let's save that. Let's go back here to Unity. And, okay, first I built my asset bundle, so let's test that. So now I should see 2 entries here, wheel small and medium. Okay. The medium one looks small, but it's not. It's actually really big, see? Cool. Yeah, this is gonna be a fun prop. Look at this. So much easier to get spin on this than on the other ones. Okay, cool. So now we can go back into that here. Set the main mesh to be the grab wheel medium. Did I get it the right size? Let's look. Yeah, that's how big it is. Okay, cool. So now we can go back to Blender. We can move these. What is it? 0.5. Move that in the Z, negative 0.5. Move this in the Y, negative 0.5. Now, probably want to make this a little bigger. So we're gonna scale. We don't want to scale like linearly. We want to scale on everything but the X. So scale Shift X. 2X. Okay, let's save that. Come back here, update our frame to this new mesh. Here it is. Okay. And what is this the thumbnail? Oh, that was the entire thumbnail. That's funny. It just happens to be that big now. Okay. We'll have to fix that in a second. Oh. Ooh. Okay, so my push-pull thing worked on the size this way, but it actually scaled it this way. Let's go look at this. Yeah, okay. So can we grab this, scale it down by the x-axis back to where it was. This looks like this thing has suffered a little in these actions, but let's look at that. Okay, there we go. Now let's update the thumbnail. This almost feels like we could just scale it up. But the proportions are different, so let's make one. Make a copy of this, bring it over here. This one, let's just go in here, scale it up approximately. Like that. And then let's grab these. Oops. These. Scale that a little bit. Grab these. Oops. Scale that down a little bit. And these in the Z direction. Okay. That is the medium thumbnail. Okay. Save that, come back here. Go to our thumbnail. Medium thumbnail, is that this? Yeah. Get that a little closer. Okay. Alright. Let's go back here, assets, build asset bundles again. Okay. This takes a second. So, yeah, signals, okay. Well, let's test this first. Guys can't see the progress bar that was just on the screen that entire time. Really missing out. Okay, so now we've got, oh, we need a proper thumbnail for this moment here. So let's grab one of these. Look how big it is. Oh, it's huge. And let's just do this real quick and go here, level data. Actually, let's load the grab wheel test level. Grab one of these, delete that, add in the big one, boom, level data, save. Okay. Now we can go to, not photo app, Photoshop. I'm going to have to re-sign in here. Let me in. Cool. Okay. So we've got this. Now we'll open up the save I just had. Which you can't see me navigating this right now. App data, Oliver, Pro Gymnast. No, not save data, levels. This one. Okay. So we're gonna grab we want to kind of fill up the frame. So that's good. Copy that. Paste it in like that. And save this as PNG, grab wheel, medium. Okay. Now back here, grab wheel medium. Set the proper sprite for its thumbnail. Okay. One more time. Build the asset button. Something. Probably could skip that. Well, we'll let it go. Alright, so what's up next? Signal support. Okay. So the parallel bars and the two new grab wheels I've created need the ability to have a signal come out of them when you grab onto them. So you can use that for logic in the levels. Okay. Let's go look at how that works. So if we look at a basic bar, for example, whoops, like a basic bar, it's got this thing, which is a signal source. And I think it has a trigger grabbable script on it. That's how it knows that when the grabbable, when this object is grabbed, to send a signal. Okay. And that, this thing has a reference back to that. Okay, cool. So that should be pretty simple. Let's go to the parallel bars. Oops. Parallel. And here they are. Okay. By the way, this thing has replays on it, right? It does. So don't forget, add a replay, scripts to the wheels. Okay. Alright, so first thing we need is our signal connector, and we're going to attach it kind of to the root. Okay. So this needs to be rotated like this, and then let's look at this from a kind of gameplay-ish view, and we're going to have, or wait a minute. Huh. Wait a minute. Hang on a second. Let's go back here to basic bar. So the light goes towards the object and then it curves off. Yeah, that's the signal connector, okay. Okay, so like the green thing goes in, essentially. Parallel bars. Now you have a signal connector. There you go. Green thing goes in. So like this. And then we're going to have this signal come out the bottom, I think. Like that. Okay. Let's open up the parallel bars. And let's make these a little bigger. Let's see. Maybe we go like this. Well, first of all, they need to be thicker. So we can grab this and go in the X direction. Let's see. Is that going to be enough? Yeah. Oh, maybe that'll do it, actually. Okay, so that's where the signal is going to connect. It's got this big collider on it so that in the editor, the cursor can detect that there's a signal connector here. So that's pretty simple. Now we need to go here. Ooh, now there's... Right. So we want the... What is it? Grab, trigger? Something trigger. Trigger grabbable. That says... I have to give this a name. I forget what I was calling these things. Let me go look in my log document here. I think it's like sig type or something like that. Signal type. We already have one called signal type on grab. That's what we want. Okay. Signal type on grab. So when you grab, and we have multiple grabbables. We have this one. We have this one. And we have this one. So when any of those are grabbed, it's going to turn on the signal. And now this connector just needs to know about that. Okay. that's all I needed to do there. Let's test it before we move on to the other two. Okay. Build the asset bundles. Okay. Okay, so let's test that. So first of all, if I add in parallel bars, it's got the little like signal thing on it. The first thing we can even do is just watch this and see if the... Ooh, where'd it go? That's weird. It's there. Oh. I'm trying to be overly smart, and so if the signal's not connected to anything, I remove it like at runtime, so it's not like a weird light distracting the player that doesn't need to be there. So let's test this. We're gonna add a bar to hang on at first. Okay. Cool. And then we're gonna make a moving... Oh, let's just do one of these powered spinners. Those are easy to see. Powered spinner, go in here and say, look at that, when grabbed. Oh, that's weird. Oh, okay. So that means I've got this marked as the wrong type. These connectors, yeah, can either be an input or an output. I currently have it marked as an input, but this is an output. When you grab it, it produces a signal. So that's going to fix that. The rest of this looks like it's probably going to work, so I'm going to go ahead and do this for the wheels, and we'll test them all at once. Okay, grab wheel small. This one also is going to need a signal connector up here. Let's put it up here so I can tell it's attached. Philosophy39, hello. Thanks for joining the chat. Right, so we've got the signal connector that we're adding, and the green part goes in, so it should look like this. And this one, so you can see it in the editor, I'm going to have it sort of like sticking out like this. And we're going to kind of cheese it like that because the support will be right there, so I think that will actually look okay. Alright. Okay. Now, let's do the things I forgot a second ago. So this grab wheel now needs to get this trigger grabbable. We let it know about this grabbable. So when you grab it, it turns on the signal. The signal is an output. The type is, what is the type? Signal type. Signal type on grab. Okay. Now we need the signal connector to know about that. Okay. While we're here, we need to support replays with the grab wheels. My replay system, it basically, rather than like recording the player inputs and trying to like replay those or something, because that's such a physics-based game, and I don't think I could get that to be deterministic, I actually just brute force record positions and rotations of the different transforms in the game and play them back. I mean, it's slightly more complicated than that, but that's the basic idea. So, for example, this wheel, because it can spin, I need to mark it as something worth recording so that in the replay, its rotation gets recorded, which is what this little script does here. Replayable basic kinematic basically says, look at this transform and remember what it does. Which I had written down to not forget to do. Okay, so with that all set up, I think I can move on to the bigger one. Here we go. It also needs a signal connector. Probably should have done this on the small before I duplicated it, and then I would only have to do this once. Okay, we're gonna make, oops, 90 degrees please. We're gonna make these similar in terms of positioning. That negative 90 plus 45. No. Negative 90 minus 45. No. Negative 90. This thing is weird because it's like authored at a 45-degree angle. It's kind of stupid. Okay. And then we need this positioned right about here. Okay. Now, go back here, add the trigger grabbable. Its target grabbable is the wheel. It's an output, and it's signal type on grab, right? Yes. Okay. And then this connector needs to know about the signal processor. And this wheel also needs a kinematic replay script. Okay. Probably missed something there. We'll see. Okay. So now we got to build our asset bundles again. So I need to check if the signals are working, and I need to check the replays are working. And then we might actually be done with these new props. You guys can't see the progress bar on my screen right now, but it's riveting. This is a very exciting progress bar. It's building and compressing data right now. And it's just frozen there. Oh, well, now it's done. Okay. Let's check these props out. Prop number 1 was the parallel bars. Okay. We're gonna put we're gonna put a test bar here that we're hanging on to at the beginning of the level. Then we're gonna add a rotating thing like this. Okay. Now if I go into signal edit mode here, see when grabbed, rotate, when grabbed, right? So when grabbed on the P-bars, we're going to rotate this guy. Okay, let's test it. Alright, so the signals are there. They're red, meaning no signal. I drop, it connects, and hey, and this should work. So now if I like let go, stops rotating, and when I grab again, starts rotating, and it's working for all 3 segments of the P-bars. Farthest one back. Oh, farthest one back. Let's try and get. Ooh, that's kind of a fun little interaction there. Can I catch my feet on there? Let's see. This would be easier if I was spinning the other way. There. Oh, okay. Anyway, now if I grab over here, still works. Cool. Okay. So the parallel bars seem to be working. Now let's try spinner. Spinner has a when grabbed connector. Connected it up to rotate. Okay. So nothing happening there. We grab it. Lights up green. We're rotating. Cool. And then let's test. Oh wait, actually, let's leave this here. Let's add in a big one up here. Look at the density of testing we're doing right now. This is incredible. Okay, now I can't connect this to here. It will take over. But I have a prop called logical OR, which will allow me to do this. So now I can connect this to here, connect this into A. Ooh, I need some localization on those. And then this to, where did I connect that? Is that right? There we go. Looks a little funny. But let's see if it works. So now, if I'm grabbing this one, the signal makes it all the way through. And then if I drop here and grab this one, the signal makes it through. And that was a smart thing to test, because now I can just go here to replay and make sure that, in fact, the rotation of the grab wheels is replaying properly. Which it is. Look at that. Cool thing about this brute force replay system is that I can scrub through it and go forwards and backwards super easily. Like if I had just recorded player input, if you wanted to get to, you know, frame 200 from the beginning of the replay, you have to play back in sequence and simulate everything that happened up until that point, because the state there is the cumulative result of all of the input up until that point. Of course, it saves on memory, and if I was doing something over the internet or something, that would be great. It would be cheaper to just send over the few bytes of input data. And in this case, instead, I have probably, you know, 200, 300 megabytes in RAM here of replay data. But the benefit is I can scrub through this like instantaneously and jump to any point in the timeline, which is cool, which allows me to have this pretty cool replay export feature where you can kind of just export clips right from the game. Okay, so those props are done, the signals are working, the replays are working. Camera angle. So I wanted to try adding in a new camera angle to the game. Something that is, so let's look at the ones we've got right now. We have I think 5 or 6 camera angles in the game. Now originally my plan was, let's open up like an actual level. Like, it's a good one. This one's got a lot of movement. So originally the plan was that this, you know, sort of game view here, this game camera angle, was going to be it for gameplay. And then I had other camera angles that you could access in the replay mode. So here would be the game camera, right? And you'd be like, wow, that was amazing what I just did in this game. I want a replay of it, right? So you would come over here, and then you'd have the gameplay camera angle you just saw. But you could come over here, and there's like this telephoto camera, which is like far away and zoomed in quite a bit, and it's just trying to follow the action like it's a television camera at a fixed point, zoomed in, looking at the gymnast. You have this one, which is like a person, a handheld camera, a person kind of standing on the ground, and follows the action, which let me get to the, which looks pretty cool. When the levels get really high off the ground like this, you're missing a lot of the action, of course. The drone camera, which is like a helicopter view. So this is like higher than the gameplay camera and zoomed out. Really lets you kind of see the contraptions of the level and stuff. And then I have free camera specifically for the replay system, where you can go here and you can actually like just fly around and make your own view. Now this is a little bit limiting in that it's a fixed view. It doesn't like follow the gymnast or anything. You know, but it allows you to get different angles and stuff. But what I'm thinking is, let's go back to gameplay here. That it might be cool to have a slightly more cinematic option. Oh, and as I was saying, so originally all these camera angles were planned only for replay. I ended up actually adding a thing here in adjust change camera that allows you to just choose these in gameplay if you want. So if you want to play the game from the drone view, you can. This isn't a replay anymore. This is live game. Oh, catch up! Oh. Or you could go here and choose the ground handheld, which would be a terrible choice for this level. Let's try it. I have no idea what's happening there. Did I get the bar? I did not get the bar. Flew right over it. Let's try this again. Let's see if I can do this. Oh, I'm on the bar. Alright, this is a good start. I really don't know where I'm going to land. Oh, okay. Alright. Alright. Hey! Yeah, so I want to try like a camera angle that's a little more like a little bit closer into the action, probably. And I mean, I also have, if you go to adjust camera, if you're on the game camera, you have a camera distance slider, which is like, so if you just want to like see all the jumps and be super accurate, you can zoom it out. So actually, let me just try playing the game with the zoomed in view here. Maybe this isn't a great level to test things like visibility. But like, see right here, this jump over those mats, quite hard to see because it's basically off screen. Do I have any other like quick levels I can use to test? Oh, this is this one. So let me just double check. I'm at the most zoomed in, right? I am. Okay. Like here, I can't see what's coming up next. Here, I can hardly see. I mean, I guess when that thing rotates around, but this would be a good level to swap this object out with my new big wheels. Ugh. So I'm thinking I want something that's gonna like bias more. Just be a little closer, but more biased towards visibility. Now, most levels I have made with a sort of general convention of like you're going to the right. So, you know, I could just bias the camera to be zoomed in and tilted a little bit and kind of looking off to the right. But that means any level where you don't go to the right won't look good. Otherwise I have to buy it towards the gymnast velocity, but you swing on bars a lot, so it would be constantly like looking left, looking right, looking left, looking right. Probably be pretty nausea inducing. Just quickly looking at the levels here to see, do I have a level character with more unlocked? Yeah. Generally going to the right. This one doesn't. Could change it though. Going to the right, going to the right. I mean, they're generally pretty consistently headed to the right, which might just be a constraint I'm willing to work with. Yeah. Alright, well, let's give it a try. So, how hard is it to add a camera into this game? So basically what they are is they're here. I'm using Cinemachine, which is a fairly recent Unity addition. That is pretty cool. You have a bunch of these virtual cameras with settings, and then by basically setting the priority of one of these cameras to the highest value, it becomes the live camera that the actual game camera, which is here, shows. And so, for example, here's my gameplay camera as it currently stands, which is Basically gonna follow a transform with no damping or anything, because I actually have my own transforms here that I'm placing and smoothing on my own, so I don't need Cinemachine to do that part for me. And we're looking at another transform that I'm doing something similar to, with some slight settings. So let's duplicate this. And what is this going to be? Man, these names are terrible. This is 7. This is cinematic cam, whatever. Okay. Now, to make this an option, currently I think I have a list of cameras here. And this replay list thing. Oh, I have this free cam thing, so that's cool. I can use that. So let's add one to this. This is going to be our new cinematic cam. Cinematic. It is not a free cam. Okay, now in theory, that will add it to that little drop down of camera choices. Let's see if that was enough to do it. Let's open up this. Let's actually change this right now. I want to try this level with these instead. Okay, save that. Okay, now if I go here to adjust camera, I'm gonna have, oh, that's weird. I think my list is not smart. Let's fix this. I added this checkbox here so that I would know I could skip, for example, the free camera. But I don't think my logic to populate that list is smart enough now to handle this case of additional one added afterwards. Let's go find this. So this is the what is this? Settings. Game camera settings. How does this work? That's the slider. Aha. So yeah, I'm just being dumb right here, and I'm just going up until 1 minus the end of the list. That's not what I want. I want to go through this whole list, and I want to say if not replay ref camera list I dot is free cam. So if it's not the free cam, add it. Now this is going to cause a slight issue. Right. Let's do this. Let's go find this. So right now we're just saying, hey, here's the index of the camera to use, but we don't really want to do that. We want to give it the camera itself, and we'll just go compare it here. Let's see, replay manager ref dot camera list. is this the camera we're looking for? In which case, remember this is the one we're currently using. And set its priority based on that. Okay, now where else are we calling this from? Okay, I'll have to fix this. Right, okay, do we have a reference to the default gameplay camera already? We do. So I think we can just do this. Does this compile? No, not yet. Right, okay, so now I'm back where we were. Okay, so up here we're only adding into this list but I need a way to map back to this now because these numbers. Right. So let's do this. Private list m camera option list. Okay, so as we're building up the list of names of cameras, we're also going to build up a list of references to the actual cameras by adding the camera itself. So if it's not the free cam, we want it in the list, we're going to remember it, and down here we can just use the ID, the index of the selection, to look up that camera and set it. Okay. See if that's compiles. That's a good start. Okay, boom, slow to test level. Which one was it? This one. Okay, choose the camera. Now our list includes these. Do these work? Does telephoto work? Yes. Ground works, drone works, and this new one, which is currently very similar to the game camera, but now it should be this one that's live. It is. So we can think about how we want to adjust this a little bit. So we could bring this camera in quite a bit. Let's try that. Like, and maybe even, yeah. Let's come in close. And let's like zoom out a little bit so we have a wider field of view. Okay, and then yeah, we can frame the gymnast or to the left like this, but we may even want to move ourselves. Yeah, like let's say we're offset like that. Okay. Yeah, with like even slightly wider field of view. Okay, now for this to work, dead zone, let's see. So what we can do is we can give it a pretty big dead zone, but anytime you head towards the right, we want to look off to the right. Okay. Something like that. Let's see, how does this look? Okay, I can see the next obstacle. Ugh! Don't love how low I am on the screen there. Ugh. Yeah, now we could adjust the look ahead a little bit. The yellow dot you're seeing is the actual target. It does have a little look ahead, you see. Oh. That's my transform where when you attach to a grabbable, I look at the grabbable instead of the gymnast, which is really good for things like this. Where swinging around this doesn't cause any camera motion, otherwise you'd be watching the gymnast swim, swirl around this thing. Whoa. Okay, so the main problem is vertical. I actually kind of like the view in general. I think it does look way more dynamic than the side view, which is cool. But things are getting lost towards the bottom of the screen. And so I guess, okay. Alright, so that means... One question is, it's pretty level. Do we want to be above or below the gymnast at all? Like, oh wait, I gotta let this be running, turn off maximize on play. Okay. Like, you know, we could be lower, we could be higher. I don't think we want to be higher. If anything, we want to be a little lower. Let's try that. And then, if I squeeze the vertical dead zone down quite a bit, like that, and the soft zone as well. And then where do we want? We want this like dead center. I mean, we generally, you're going to be falling more than you're going to be rising. So we could bias it towards giving it a little more room on the bottom, like that. How's that look? Let's see. Okay, this is strongly communicating that you're going to the right in this game. I think that's okay. Especially for like sort of the campaign. I don't know how easy this is going to be to judge distances. It's always cool to see the game from a new vantage point, though, especially once you've become really used to the previous. That was pretty good. Now, like this jump here, like this is way more interesting to look at right now. I can see the timing better. I have a feeling the distances are going to be a little tricky to judge. Let's see. Now would be a good swing to let go, right? Right about there. Okay. This is the kind of thing that's very hard for me to judge too, because I've played this game so much. lets us like even lose the gymnast a little bit to the left, which, oh. Ending was kind of cool. Wait, did I lose my settings? Oh, I think it reset. You have to switch back. That's a bug. Okay. Yeah, so like in a case like this, like literally losing the gymnast is probably too much. And this is tricky because... Okay, well that's a result of that dead zone being so wide there. So we could cut down on this a little bit. Let's see. Right, get you a little more centered. And then, yeah, you're able to see more because of these values here. Okay, can we copy all those values? Set that. Oh, I feel like a bunch of these didn't get saved. Like this was -2, -2, negative like... What was it? I have to check the recording. I don't remember. And these were all way different. Crap. That's so annoying. I could have used this save during play. Alright, well. Let's try tuning these values again. So what we want to do is we want to go here, load level, play it, switch to the new camera. Okay. I think it was about that zoomed in. We're going to cramp down on the dead zone a bit, and especially on this. So we really want to, yeah, tighten that up. Okay. We want to save during play mode. Okay, let's have a look at this. Oh, this is going to have a problem, I think. When you hit the ground, the camera's going to go too low. Okay, for this particular level, though, this angle's pretty cool. Yeah, I probably don't want the camera going that low. That's pretty easy to fix. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Pull it out. Nice. I'm gonna go right over the bar. Ah. must admit, I do kind of like the visibility. I'm worried about the trade-off in terms of judging distances. Oh no. I mean, like, I can judge that okay, but I've played this game way more than anyone who's gonna buy it. I wonder if the depth of field is actually helpful in this case for judging distances or harmful. Interesting. Okay, so like in this case, this right now is going to be tight because it's still going the other way. Is it going to come back around? No, no, no. It's pretty close though. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Oh, this one would be kind of fun to do this. Oops. Come around this way and grab on there. Oh. Oh. Come on. Grab on. There we go. And come around the top then. Maybe even go like this. And then switch. Oh, that'd be fun. I don't think I'm gonna make this. Nope. That can definitely be done, especially if I can get this grab to be smooth. And come around. Huh. Yeah, I'm gonna hit that hard. Oof. Too hard. Oh, easy, easy, easy. Okay. Right about there-ish. Oh my god. Overdid it. Catch it. Yes. Oh my god. Look at that. Okay, is this thing actually going to save when I exit play mode? I'm gonna do the old classic, just in case, capture a screenshot maneuver. Oh, looks like it did it. Okay, let's turn that off. Alright, I want to try this for a little while. So I think if I go here, I can set this as the main gameplay camera. And now that it thinks that's the default, yeah, I can test out some of the actual game levels real quick. Be a good way to finish up for today. Oh wait, no, we want to quit the editor. Come back out here, load up a save. Let's go try a few levels. Is this the new angle? I think so. Feels more zoomed out. I wonder if it's taking the distance setting into account. It doesn't look like it. Seems quite zoomed out though, doesn't it? Yeah, this was supposed to be like -10 or something. Right, okay, so I'm pretty sure that's because what is this thing? The game settings. This one. Cam distance. It's just gonna be down here. This. Find references. Manage your game right here. Yeah, in start game. Okay, let's just comment this out for a second. Okay. We can still support that value though. Let you zoom in and out a little bit. But the UI is not set up to handle it applying to this new camera yet, so let's just test a couple levels here. Which one was it? Let's try this again. Okay, this is the new potential camera angle. Certainly more dynamic than the old one, which was way more side view. This does feel more sort of Trials HD-ish. Yeah. Okay, I got some Z fighting there and that overlap, but I don't know what that would do about that. Ooh, this makes that chalk like completely hidden. That's kind of interesting. Like you can see it right there. But once you get up here, and actually right now part of this is because I'm biasing the game camera towards the end of the level to kind of frame it a little bit. Let's go back and try a few more. Okay, here's one with like a lot of, like we're zooming in on stuff here. Boom. This angle. I don't want to try the tutorials right now. What about something like this? This will probably be better. You can see where you're headed. Oh. Certainly see where you're headed now. I could probably actually relax a little bit the amount of lead I'm doing to show you the end of the level object. Oh, that was a bad swing. Come up, relax. There we go. And this should just be... Boom. Okay. Yeah, this level, for example. Well, I mean, the lead thing kind of... Yeah, like you can't see much here. Just gotta kind of guess. Don't love that. I'm gonna go back and work on a bunch of these levels anyway, though, so... Like something like this. This is actually cooler than Ooh, hit the head, but survived. Wow. That's better than the previous camera angle in that case. Oops. Let's go back here. What about like this? This is one of my levels I've played a lot. Kind of a... This one's in the first trailer I made. I don't know. Might be pretty good. Especially if I'm going to do a pass on this trajectory preview anyway. Which I might be able to think of ways to make the depth perception, you know, improved. Like here, yeah, we're really losing the gymnast a little bit because we're looking so hard to try and show the end of level object. Alright. Actually kind of liking this new camera angle in general though. We can pick this up tomorrow. Maybe tweak the some of these parameters a bit more. Alright. We'll pick this up again tomorrow.